My M20 manager threatened to ruin my promotion if I snitch about another manager. M29 dating a minor. F17. I currently work in Walmart and have been for the past 2 years, and a couple of weeks ago, we had a vacancy open up for one of our logistical managers who worked in the back room. I have worked in the back room more than anywhere else in the store, and a manager who has been pushing for my promotion, we will call him Dave, is supposedly dating an employee who is currently 17 years old, and a few of the people who I work with do not really like her, and they have spread around some gossip that I have tried to stay clear of. I work in the back room, so it is easier than most. I usually work alone and away from the registers where most of the more personable people go, in my opinion. But I digress. I go to work, do my job, do it as best I can, and want to go home as soon as possible. My dad always told me to stay shy of office politics, and he used to be a shop steward before he retired, and I have talked to him about the situation I am writing about now. But I wanted to get some other opinions on the matter too. The 17-year-old girl works in soft lines, so most of the time, I only see her in passing, and we have only held a conversation about 2 or 3 times. Most of what I hear about her comes from people who I am working with to unload trucks in the back and break them down, and they told me that Dave was always following her around and planning to promote her, as some rumors have it, which according to them, is why some people do not like her. I would not lie, I sometimes enjoy listening to how life is in the store away from the boring back room, but I am never in a position to be involved with any of the hoopla, and even if I was, I would not do it anyway. However, one of the soft lines managers asked to talk to me in the truck, after one of shifts and after I had already clocked out, and she accused me of writing a recognition note saying that Dave is Fuke Brianna and posting it on the board, and I swear that I had no idea that that existed until she told me. When I told her that, she said that she has been hearing some inappropriate things about her and that someone told a manager that I had been talking, and she was dead set on the idea that I wrote the note. I told her again that this was the first I have heard of it, along with how I am technically off the clock as well, but she said she did not appreciate me trying to ruin Dave's career, and that if she heard anything else about it, that she would take it to our general manager and that would be a very different conversation, along with how she assured me that they were not dating, and I should have went straight to our in hindsight. But as she was walking away, I was too scared to and just went to my car, and this happened yesterday. As I am still pissed about it, I talked to one of my friends who also works with me, and I told him what happened and that I did not think it was appropriate for her to pull me aside like that after I had clocked out for the day. And he said it was weird how she asked to talk to me in the truck specifically, where there were no cameras or anything to be put on record, along with not giving me a heads up about it beforehand. He also told me that Dave's girlfriend posted photos of her and Dave making out on their Instagram story before. So everything she said was a bunch of BS, and I want to go back to our as soon as tomorrow, my next shift, while it is still fresh. But here is what I am nervous and probably too emotional to see clearly right now. Dave is a good guy, and he is one of the people who have been talking me up for this promotion, although I think that I did still get it maybe without him doing that. And personally, I do not care what his personal business is. I do not work in soft lines, and neither does he. I work in the back. And it was not my business until she confronted me and accused me for writing a note I did not write. However, I am also worried that someone has it out for me, and maybe whoever told said manager that I was supposedly saying shit when I was not, to screw with me, and I am worried about that. I plan to go back to our tomorrow for my next shift, but I am not sure if I will be emotionally prepared or had the chance to prepare in enough time. So I wanted to ask for an outside perspective on how to best go about bringing it up, along with how to address the fact that she explicitly threatened me. I feel like, and even after I go through with this, I am not sure if it'd be too awkward to stay here even with the promotion, or if I should start looking for another job, because no matter how this goes, it is probably gonna get ugly and weird. Thanks in advance to anyone who helps and provides a perspective that I maybe cannot see in time for tomorrow. Too long didn't he read? A manager from Softlines threatened to ruin my promotion if I snitch about another manager dating a minor when I do not even work on the sales floor. and I stick to the back room away from most of the drama. She also accused me of writing a recognition note that says Davis Fuke Brianna that I knew nothing about until she accused me of it, and she accused me of this in the truck where there are no cameras after I had punched out for the day. And I want to ask for advice before going back for my next shift tomorrow and going to hour, since my mind is probably too emotional to sort everything out in just 24 hours. Write out a formal statement, print it out if you can, or have it in your email ready to be sent. Then talk to your hour person and say that you have already written a statement. Should I also send it to my district manager too? I have never been in this position before, but considering most of the managers are close, I was thinking that maybe he could provide a non-biased perspective, although I am not sure if I should go to hour first and not tell the DM at all. Does Walmart have an employee handbook or something of that nature? Usually these huge companies have a standard procedure to go through when it comes to issues like this. If the DM is going to be involved, it will probably be up to hour to notify them. To be honest, this whole situation is going to make me pull it out and run through it again before tomorrow. But I have been told to not go over management test head, although the only thing I am nervous about is how all of the managers are close and friends outside of work, but that would not stop me from going to hour tomorrow still. As for the DM, I am still debating the order of operations to do things in, or if I should be the one to get him involved at all. I think what you have written out is great. I would just add that this is not about Dave and what Dave is or is not doing. You have no knowledge of anything and you have not done anything about the rumors except hear them. What this is about is this manager threatening you and accusing you of doing something you did not do, of bringing this shit to your door in an inappropriate manner and in a threatening way. Your complaint has nothing to do with Dave's personal life. It has everything to do with being accused and threatened by this manager, and your complaint is against this manager about their treatment of you. You are not reporting Dave, you are reporting the manager who accosted you out of hours over a private matter and accused you of things with no proof. You do not have to give details about Dave, just tell hour the basic complaint, and that since what she was talking about was rumors you had no knowledge of, they should ask her. But this is serious. She stepped way over the boundary line and needs putting back in her box and disciplining. She accosted you wrongly without any evidence and maligned you and threatened you. She cannot be allowed to get away with that. The way you described it here is actually quite good. You stick to the facts. Add that you were uncomfortable that the conversation took place in the truck, while you were off the clock. You are 20 years old and you know how to write better than most people your age. You also seem like a hard worker. Do not be afraid to do what is right. In the meantime, you should consider a career change. Oh honey, you are only 20. This promotion is really not worth condoning illegal activity. I am glad you have morals. Please write down all correspondences and go to hour as soon as possible so they do not have a chance to give their made-up version first. If for any reason this costs you your job, like I said, you are young and really should not worry about it. This reason is perfectly acceptable for leaving the company if you have to mention it on other job applications. There are many similar retail opportunities out there for you, including department stores and grocery stores. You would not lose out by doing the right thing even if you do not get this promotion. Honestly, I am worried that even after all of this is somehow solved, that permanent damage has already been done and that the other managers might not like me since a lot of them are close friends, and that it'd probably be awkward to become a manager like them and that they might not like me and maybe sabotage me for hurting their friend. I know it is probably unlikely, but I do not know if I am wrong to think they did be petty for getting them in trouble, or if it had be better to start looking for work elsewhere just in case, since maybe she pulled me aside because she really does not like me and does not want me to become manager. While the promotion would be nice, I feel as if maybe things are gonna change no matter what I do, and especially after how she talked to me in the truck after my shift completely out of the blue. I am gonna talk to hour and probably start to look for other work too, but it does suck to think that maybe she targeted me because perhaps she just does not like me. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.